This is a JJRC 8800 something or other, 8805. It looks fantastic, it's super cheap, and by all accounts, it's supposed to be really tough and fast. And before we get to the finer points of the car, we're gonna find out how fast. Let's answer that age-old question that everybody has about a new RC. How fast is it? Now, the car does say it runs 2S LiPo, and it clearly says 2S in the chassis, but we're running it on 3S. Oh yeah, this thing's gonna be fast. Oh, nice wheelie. And let's give it the beans. Oh, that thing flies. Pulling wheelies is not only easy, but it can ride them. Oh, what? Are you kidding? Tato, this thing does 52 miles per hour. It's only a $110 RC car. Holy cow. Every JJRC I've had that can run 3S so far has always been immensely fast. And this one, so far, is the fastest. 52 miles per hour. Well done, JJRC, but we've got more questions to answer. Questions like, how quick is it in a 132-foot drag race pass? Let's find out. 3, 2, 1, go! I never got the full throttle. Ooh, 339 at 44 miles per hour. I think I can actually do a little quicker. Go! 340 at 43 miles per hour. We did slightly better with our first pass. It's not a drag car, but it is fast and it is quick. Now let's find out what else it can do. Apart from running 3S, as we now know it can. This car can pull some pretty clean wheelies. I almost hit myself. Probably not really good on the gearing doing that, but it is fun. Oh man, this thing has got some stank to it. It gets tons of air with very little effort. Oh goodness. Actual spare tire, by the way. Oh, tons of air authority. But how does it handle on the road? Actually half decently. Not bad at all. You can just stand it right up anytime you want. Oh, the miles per mile on this car are already pretty high. An RC as tall as this one and as top heavy as this one could use a slightly wider stance, but I'm actually having a great time with it just the way it is. It is bonkers. It is fast. It is wild. And it's not half bad off-road with those friction shocks. Even with all that power. Oh no, we lost it. Oh, this thing's crazy. Oh no, something seems to have gone wrong. Oh, my GNSS analyzer is trying to escape. It's probably getting sick in there with all this craziness. Let's just get it out of there. Ah, that's better. Oh my God. This thing can do a no ramp backflip. Nothing, that was so easy. Oh God, this thing is crazy powerful. Probably better with oil-filled shocks, but not bad. Oh wow, we did like a twist flip somehow and actually landed it. This thing is crazy. Oh, that's kind of cool. When you go into LBC, the lights will blink to let you know. Nice little touch, JJRC. And while we're switching batteries, the body is more than just a body. It's actually really, really built up under there. Tough, beefy. We've got a driver and a passenger. Really good looking RC. I like this thing a lot so far. So it's fast and quick and cheap. And in spite of its friction shocks, it actually seems to handle rather well also. At least on the road, that is. Off-road, it gets along just fine, but it does tend to traction roll, being that it is a little bit top heavy. But how does it handle on the dirt? Let's find out. It handles really, really well on the dirt, actually. In fact, I think this thing would be very competitive in our little dirt races we do out here, and I'm only going around at half throttle. Being that it's 14 scale and top heavy and has kind of slick tires on it for this service, I thought this was going to be a joke. But the joke's on me because it's doing tremendously well. Yeah, ow, and it just spit rocks right into my face and mouth, hitting my minerals. Jeez. It would be better with oil-filled shocks, but I've got to say, I'm pretty impressed with how it handles just as it is. Now it's time for the backflip fence. Oh, that was awesome. I thought this thing was going to have tremendous oversteer, but there's actually a slight bit of push in the turns, which is an RC car's version of understeer. And for this car, it actually helps it stay very stable and fast out here. Oh, goodness. The little JJRC is rather tough as well. Oh. This little thing is almost demonic. Let's have a wall ride. Oh, with style points, it does a backflip. It's almost too much power. And to think, 400 kV less than the MJX 14209. About $40 less than a 14209 as well. And now it's time to address the elephant in the room. The JJRC C8805 resembles very strongly the MJX 14209. Aside from the fact that at 52 miles per hour, it's faster, it's cheaper, in my opinion, looks better, and if you can forget about the friction shocks, it handles better as well. Not to mention it runs laser straight and effortlessly pulls wheelies at will. And it does all of these things on 400 less kV than the MJX. In fact, the more I think of it, the less reasons I can come up with to buy the MJX 14209 over the JJRC. Apart from one, while JJRC is very similar to the MJX 14209, and you can get parts for this car, JJRC is not as popular or as prolific as MJX. And therefore, you can get parts for these, but you're gonna dig and you're gonna search and you're gonna wait for them. With an MJX, the part support's a little bit more readily available because I can't name a hobbyist that I know of who hasn't owned or driven an MJX. However, I can't name a single hobbyist that I know in my personal life that's ever even seen one of these. Now, that's not JJRC's fault. That's just the way it goes sometimes. And there are a couple of other small problems. For this car to be as fast as it is on less kV than an MJX Hypergo, surely that means it's overgeared. Let's ease into the throttle nice and easy and see if we cog. Oh yes, it certainly does cog. Let's see if it takes off well if we give it a bit of throttle. Yes, but still a smidge of cog. Not a deal breaker, but worth noting. Oh, it struggled to get going. It does have the power once it does get going, but it did struggle. Oh, and now we're completely stuck. I think an MJX 14209 could have dug its way out of that. How about some uphill? In the defense of the JJRC, this is a very steep hill. Oh, that is such bad cog. Oh, I think it cogged so badly it went into thermal shutdown. I guess we'll have to give it a moment to cool off. But as we know, cogging is often the price of speed. And speed is the one thing this car has by the boatload. Oh, I think I have severely damaged one of the differentials. The front one, I believe. Which, if I didn't already have the part to fix that with, that could be a potential problem for me. Because that is one thing this car can't quite offer that the MJX 14209 can. Yes, you can get the parts, but you've got to dig and you've got to wait. Luckily for me, I have a few of these cars, so I have the parts for it, but many of you may not. I'm not saying the car isn't good. This car is fantastic. But for a new hobbyist, this car could be a little too much too soon and a bit too little too late. Though I've got to say, I'm really enjoying it. This little thing is an absolute blast. And because I'm really enjoying the car, there will be a link in the description for it because you may enjoy it as well. It is at least worth its asking price. And through all the abuse I've been putting it through, so far I've only broken one wheelie bar wheel. No! I forgot I'd parked right here. Really does handle surprisingly well, especially being on friction shocks. So there we have it. That is the JJRC C8805. I really enjoyed the car. If you think you will as well, link in the description. And next up on the channel, we've got a truck that needs no introduction, so it won't get one. Something we should have done a long time ago. But until then, let me say as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember, it's not about miles per hour, it's about smiles per mile. So have fun, and we will see you in the next one.